BlizzCon is next week, and the big question is, what the hell are we going to see for Overwatch? Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Stylosa. So in this video, what we're going to do is break down expected, and then maybe a nice surprise, and then followed by not great when it comes to what we're probably going to see at BlizzCon this week. Now, in case you've been living under a rock, BlizzCon is going to happen on the 19th to the 20th of February. This is next week. I'll put a link in this video's description, or you can just Google BlizzConline, a bit of a mouthful, but you will be able to find the website, and then you can go and find the YouTube channel. And all this is free. You will be able to watch the entire BlizzCon, well, BlizzConline, I should say. You'll be able to watch the whole thing on YouTube, every single panel, everything, literally everything will be there, and it's going to be awesome. Now, one thing we're not going to focus on is the Overwatch League stuff. This is happening at BlizzConline. It's Shock versus the World. There's a various number of activities which are taking place with San Francisco Shock players versus various streamers, community members, game developers. I think Jeff is involved in one of the gameplay modes as well. That's going to be fun to watch, but that's, let's be honest, people don't care about that. They want to know about Overwatch 2, right? This is all anybody wants to know about. They want to know where Overwatch is going and where Overwatch 2 is going, because we have had no news since 2019 in November. That is a very, very long time ago. Now, admittedly, Blizzard did say, hey, we're not going to give you any information in 2020. Of course, we all know what happened in 2020. We're still dealing with this right now, and we're probably, in all reality, going to be dealing with this with a few years to come just yet. Anyway, this may have impacted the development of Overwatch. We can go into some wild speculation later on in the video. However, let's go into what I believe will be the things to expect out of BlizzCon from the Overwatch team when it comes to Overwatch 2. A new animated short. Now, I expect this will be shown during the opening ceremony. The way the opening ceremony typically runs at BlizzCon is each franchise has a section where they show off some sort of bit of new gameplay, a new expansion, even a new game. Remember, back in 2019, we got the 0-hour cinematic for Overwatch 2, and then we got Jeff coming on, showing us some hero designs and stuff like that after that and all that stuff. But in the main opening ceremony, we got the announcement of Overwatch 2, and we got a cinematic short. Now, will we get a cinematic short this week? Well, I hope we do. I really hope we do, because if there's one thing Blizzard are world leaders at when it comes to gaming, it is definitely animated shorts. The cinematics department is insane. But we might not get a full-blown cinematic short. We might get an in-game short. And to be honest, I don't think I've got much of an issue with that. I kind of like those. I think when they did it for Junkertown, that was really cool. So maybe we see something like that. But I would expect a new animated short to be shown during the opening ceremony. Then what I'd expect to see is updated hero designs. This is something I've personally been asking for ever since 2019, when we got Tracer, Reinhardt, Mei, Mercy, and Lucio was shown off. I want to and Genji. I want to see other heroes, right? I want to see what Soldier looks like. I want to see what Symmetra looks like. Actually, we've seen Bastion as well, I think, and I think we did see Torbjorn, although it wasn't an in-game render. It was a concept art drawing style thing. But more of those. Like, I was asking for this throughout 2020. I think it would have been cool if every now and again, maybe the Overwatch Twitter account went, hey, look, here's the new design for Reaper, or something like that. I think that would be really cool. But I expect what they'll do here is show a bunch of these off again. Maybe we see 4 or 5 updated hero designs. Then what I expect to get information on is the progression system. Now, we got no information on this back in 2019, and I'd imagine this is something that they were working on quite heavily. So I will be really worried if they don't give us any info on this, because that would mean that they still don't know what to do with the game when it comes to progression, and I would be slightly worried. That's why this is expected. I honestly believe we will see information here on a progression system and what kind of form that takes. We do know there will be hero missions, we know there will be story missions, and we do know that hero missions will be replayable in some sort of a way. They always compared this to Diablo 3's sort of rift system, where you can go in and out of rifts and they appear all over the map and all of that stuff, and you get various rewards for doing it. But what will the rewards be? What is the progression for my character? Why would I do these? Loot boxes, will they still be in the game? This is all information we need to know, because from the progression system, then they should start telling us about potentially a new loot system, maybe a battle pass system and stuff like that. Sojourn's abilities. I think what we will see is her ability set, or a gameplay trailer, or the sort of the introduction trailer for this hero. We know she's a hero. We know she's coming to the game. They teased her in-game model off quite a lot with the 2019 stuff. We could see like she's got some sort of weapon that is sort of inside her arm and it explodes out. She can slide across the floor. We also know she's a commander of Overwatch and all of this stuff. So, yeah, I'd expect to see more details on her rather than just coming completely out of left field going, here's a new hero. Now, we might actually, instead of Sojourn's abilities, get potentially the Fox Ninja Girl hero, whatever that turns out to be. Maybe we get to see that, but who knows. And finally, I expect to see new mission gameplay tease. We've seen Rio. I expect to see another mission. Whether this will be playable, I doubt it. But if they give us a little trailer where we can see something happening, hey, maybe that's cool. Or maybe they give us a trailer which bounces around various different bits of missions to give us the idea or the perception that they've got a lot of missions that they're working on. So that's what I expect to see at BlizzCon. And now, honestly, this is not a lot, right? And maybe we won't even see an animated short. But hey, we'll get onto that in a second. But I think this is pretty much the bare minimum they need to go for to just, well, keep us interested, right? What about a nice surprise? All right, let's do this. A new hero launch. Now, Jeff did say we are not launching any new heroes into Overwatch. Everything now will be coming out with Overwatch 2. This was in 2019. This was before a global pandemic and a load of other issues came in. And we don't know what's going on with Overwatch's development, which obviously we hope to find out this week what's been going on with the development of the game. Anyway, I think it'd be really cool if we got a new hero which just launched. Maybe went straight onto PTR. Here you go. It's the Fox hero. It's Sojourn. Something like that. Probably wouldn't be Sojourn because we know she's... Well, I say we know. We've been told in the past that she's going to be an Overwatch 2 hero. So maybe we won't see her. And there's, of course, a load of other candidates for heroes. You've got Maximilian. Again, they've said he probably won't be a hero. You've got the big beefy Omnic at the end of the Storm Rising cinematic. Who the hell is he? You know, the guy who was on Temple of Anubis. You guys know what I'm talking about. What about Diva's Mecha Squad? You know, there's so many links. I'm going to throw that name out there. There's loads and loads. Sanjay, what about him? There's loads of people that could be heroes, right? So a new hero launch, though, would be a major, nice surprise to me. And it would make me feel, and probably along with the rest of you guys, feel like, yeah, they are continuing to support Overwatch while they're doing whatever with Overwatch 2. Playable beta. Okay, I think this would be a major nice surprise if they did say, hey guys, there's a beta available, you can download it now, go and play it. That would be a surprise. Now, what I was hoping is we get the Rio mission from 2019 just becomes playable to everyone. I think that would be a nice touch. If they've got that, I mean, it worked in 2019 at BlizzCon, so I'm guessing it still kind of works, but I don't know. You got to remember at BlizzCon, you've got the game developers on hand to fix any problems. If anything goes wrong, they can literally fix the game there and then. They can't do that when it's distributed to everyone. So again, I don't know. But it'd be really cool if we did get information on a playable beta or it was just straight up playable. That would be mental. New competitive system info. Now, this has been teased that they are working on the competitive system, that it's the ideal opportunity to do any kind of major overhaul of the system. If they wanted to do things like SR resets or any kind of mad stuff you guys could think about, that's what would happen with Overwatch 2's competitive system, which becomes Overwatch's competitive system, which will be the new competitive system. Now, things like golden weapons, they're not great. We know Jeff doesn't like them, and probably other members of the development team don't like them. So maybe we get information on new competitive rewards, new reasons to play competitive, maybe a new tournament system in competitive. There's a lot of things you could go for here, but again, any of that would be a very nice surprise. Overwatch 2 Battle Pass info. Now, this is presuming the game has a Battle Pass. In this day and age, every game generally has a battle pass, and it seems to be a pretty good way to keep people engaged in the game, provided the rewards are not too hard to get and they are meaningful rewards. If we get any info on a battle pass, I think that'll be incredible. Really good stuff, and I'll be tuning into that super inquisitively because I want to know what they're going to do with the game, because as we know, the loot boxes in the game right now, that's old monetization. But are they even going to charge for Overwatch 2? Now, this is the thing. This leads me on to the next point, the price of Overwatch 2. Will it be free to play? Will you buy the game? Will it have a battle pass where you buy the battle pass that gives you access to the PvE element of Overwatch 2? Who knows? Any information on the price will be really good. What goes hand in hand with the price is the launch date of Overwatch. So, Overwatch 2, I should say. Overwatch 2, we've got no launch date. Now, there is a major positive to having no launch date. It means you never have to publicly say the game is being delayed. But what that does mean is you end up with situations right now where the community can feel like there's not been any updates. What's going on with Overwatch 2? Especially when they look at Overwatch 1 and say, well, it's been kind of minimal update-wise. And I think a lot of people have been sort of worried that they might get a kick in the teeth of Blizzard going, hey, this is the launch date of Overwatch 2, then people go away and go, you know what? They would have launched maybe 6, 7 heroes in that time span. Oh, so all they've done is continued making Overwatch content and stashed it away and then just dropped it in one big ball and went, this is Overwatch 2. That's a little bit of a worry. So, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Will the base game go free to play? There are loads of pros. There are loads of cons with this. Pros, you get a bigger player base. Cons, you get loads of hackers, right? So this is going to be, I don't know, whatever Blizzard decide on here, taking the multiplayer free to play might be a good move to get people back into Overwatch and get new people into Overwatch. It also might be a bad move. This is something which is going to be really difficult, and I'm sure that if this was something they were considering, the devs have probably spoken about this for hours and hours on end. But any info on that would be a very nice surprise. Crossplay. I think in this day and age now, we need crossplay. I play Apex Legends, and I play it with people who play on consoles. There's no reason why I shouldn't be playing Overwatch with people that play on consoles, although there is. I don't think it works for competitive, but in PvE, doing missions together, you're damn right it's going to work. You're damn right it's fine playing with somebody on a PlayStation or somebody on an Xbox while I'm on a PC. That makes no difference. I've got friends that don't even have PCs, so to be able to play with them would be amazingly good, right? That would be awesome. When it comes to competitive, yeah, there would be an imbalance there if you've got people playing on PC. There's also systems that have to be built into the game that maybe help out people playing on console with like minor sort of aim assist and stuff, whereas if you bring that into PC, it would be terrible. So there's all kinds of issues with that. So in terms of competitive, don't think that works. But in terms of PvE, which is essentially what Overwatch 2 is, as a game, as an offering, then yeah, it makes sense. So if they give us any info on that, that will be a big win. And finally, what about a good mobile game? Now, we know Blizzard like mobile games. We know based off their earnings calls of Activision Blizzard this is, that they like Call of Duty because it makes them billions and billions of dollars. Call of Duty's got a massive Battle Royale free-to-play element, which is called Warzone. Everyone's heard of this. It makes them loads of money. Call of Duty has also got a mobile game, which makes them billions of dollars and loads of money, which is essentially the old Call of Duty multiplayer in a mobile game. And you know what, right? I'm going to say this. It's actually not that bad. Yes, it's monetized ridiculously annoyingly with loads of skins and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, that's kind of what they do, but it's not a bad mobile game. But you know what would really interest me? A different game in a different genre. Well, a different genre for Overwatch. So instead of it being a straight up mobile clone of Overwatch on mobile, if this even is a thing, I reckon some sort of like maybe a strategy game would be really cool. I'm a really big fan of XCOM, and I think it would be awesome if we had an XCOM sort of version, like a tactical version, maybe like Advanced Wars or something, if any of you guys have played that, of Overwatch. I think that'd be cool. Like you deploy an Overwatch squad and then you go through a mission. I think that would be really cool. So if they did say that, honestly, I'd be quite interested. Of course, if they just went, it's Overwatch on mobile and it's got terrible monetization, yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the maybe not so great stuff. Confirmation of no new heroes or content until Overwatch 2 launches, and we get no launch date. I think this would send people into a bit of a panic, because you'd be like, okay, so there's no major content coming to Overwatch, and we don't know when Overwatch 2 is coming out. That would be a massive worry, I think, for the entire fan base, the creators, the players of the game, because you just be like, well, what's going on with this game? Where's the content? This harks back to the comment earlier I made of people just adding together the years where Overwatch 2 has been in development, and then looking at the years of no new heroes. Primarily, heroes is the metric to use here. So if you were getting 3 a year, and Overwatch takes 3 years to come out, Overwatch 2, and then suddenly they go, here's 9 new heroes, you just go, well, all you've done, guys, is stop releasing these heroes and release them for Overwatch 2. That becomes a worry. So I think they need tons of content for Overwatch 2 beyond heroes. So yeah, that is a major worry. No cinematics. This wouldn't be great, but I don't think this one's the end of the world. If there's no awesome animated short, if there's no in-game cinematic, if there's none of that, then sure, it's going to be kind of lame, but I don't think it's the end of the world. I guess it would be not great. No beta info. So this again would be a worry, because it would mean that the game is a very long way away, even more so than we believed it to be. So no beta. Then again, maybe they don't want to do beta because it might give away too much of the game. On the other hand, they might want to test the PvP mode push, which I'm hoping that they do at some point, and maybe just give us the Toronto map, which I believe I played in 2019, which is a push map, and they must have other maps for this as well. You'd imagine 2 other maps, so they've at least got 3 for the mode, and that becomes playable in some sort of capacity in the next few months, maybe. No new loot system info. Yeah, this would be worrying because you wouldn't know. And what I mean by loot system, I don't mean the in-game loot system. I mean the loot box system, the monetization system, the store system. If we've got no info on that, do Blizzard have no info on that? Now, I'm sure they do, but they're not at the point of sharing it. Makes me worried. And I guess that's kind of the theme with all of the not great stuff here, just sort of making me a little bit uneasy, a little bit worried for the future of the game. Minimal details on Overwatch 2 would be worrying. That would be very worrying. So if we got very minimal stuff, like they just wanted to spend... Like, remember, there's only a 40-minute segment of behind the scenes of Overwatch 2. Imagine if they spend 20 minutes of this discussing the new designs for Symmetra, Soldier 76, Reaper, McCree that they've shown. I think that would be very worrying because it would be like, well, while we care about that, there's a lot more juicy info to kind of be, you know, that we want to digest. So I think we'd be worried if there was a lot of minimal details on Overwatch 2. 2024 launch date confirmed. All right, so you guys have probably seen a leak. I say a leak. I think it's a really bad bit of bait going around where it's saying that Overwatch 2 is coming out in 2024 winter. I don't believe that to be true, but imagine if Blizzard said that's true. And they tell us that there's no new content coming to Overwatch 2 or Overwatch until Overwatch 2 comes out. I think all I can do is really laugh at that thought. I mean, I hope that cannot be the case. That literally cannot be the case. And then finally, while we're on like a mad sort of run of things that cannot be the case, Jeff retiring. I mean, this would be bad. And this would be really bad for Overwatch because Jeff's the face of the game. So if he said I'm retiring, I don't even think the game could recover from that. I think the game would really suffer from that. But I can't see that happening in a million years. But hey, if the 2024 launch date get confirmed, I suppose anything is possible, right? I don't know. I've kind of threw that one in there as a little bit of a meme. All right then, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. It's going to be a big week for the future of Overwatch. A lot of stuff hopefully will get cleared up and we will have something to look forward to, whether that's a beta date, whether that's a date of major new content coming to Overwatch. Maybe it's even a launch date of Overwatch 2. Things like that, if we get that, then it's going to be good stuff. If we don't, it's going to be a bit of a worry. But what I want you guys to do in the comments is just tell me what you expect to see. Tell me what you think would be awesome, what would be a nice surprise, and then tell me what would be really bad if it actually happened or didn't happen at BlizzCon for Overwatch 2. All right, guys, thank you for watching the video. It has been my pleasure as always. Big shout out to everyone who is a member of the channel. If you want to be a member, you can click the join button. This is me going into full salesman mode. You'll get emotes of my face because they're amazing. Not that they're actually kind of really terrible, but they're funny in a bad way. But you also support the channel. It is honestly the best way to support the channel. It makes me less reliant on having to get videos with crazy amounts of views to keep doing what I'm doing. It's just makes it more comfortable and more easy, I think, which is awesome. So thank you to everyone who is supporting at every tier as well. You guys are all awesome. And remember, if you do support at the value tier, you will get a shout out during Overanalyze, Guess the Rank, and Bronze Heroes at the end of those videos, which is awesome. All right, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.